And before we get started, let's make sure that we click that subscribe button and make sure that you click the bell to make sure you get all the notifications for the videos I drop.
Yo everybody, what is up? It's your boy Ghost Dog in the house. So as you can see, I messed up. I didn't actually record my audio as I was recording my videos. So I had a poll out on Twitter. Y'all said y'all want me to go feature. So I'm in the ISO store now. Went on ahead and signed up for the sigil. And I'm gonna go ahead and buy that feature crystal. I hope everybody had a great week. Wouldn't be a Ghost Dog video without some kind of mishap in the midst of the video. Since I'm sitting here and I'm buying this feature crystal, there we go. I got the purchase in, so no turning back on that. Unlike the week before, where I actually decided debating on going feature, and it's like, no, click, 3 basics, and those that turn out as well. They weren't horrible, they weren't great. Going through what I have, what I wasn't going to open the PHCs. I got almost 200,000. Haven't opened any PHCs in a while. I got 3 stars, 3 or 4 stars. Went ahead and I got 2 of these Grandmaster crystals. I was like, all right, so maybe I can get a 5-star. I drop them in. I'm not expecting a 5-star, but we'll see how it goes. Spins, and I'm looking for a 5-star. Not gonna get a 5-star. We're gonna end up getting 3-star Mysterio. Well, it was a new champ, and I did see the number pop up at the top. So there's that. So that's something for me to play around with if I ever get the chance to get him ranked up a little bit. Which, if you haven't heard, variant 4, bring your 3 stars up, get them up. It'll be useful. Second one to put in there, it's like, okay, I got a 3-star out the way. This has now been several of these crystals. I'm hoping maybe I can get a 5-star. No, 3-star Daredevil canceled. I've never gotten a 5-star. I think I said if I had a counter up at the top of how many times I spun that crystal and didn't get a 5-star, that number would probably be triple digits. I've been getting those for a while now. Alright, so moving through, I had a legendary crystal I need to open. I was like, okay, cool. I have a chance at another 5-star champ. Looking at all the other possibilities out there. I think I started counting down like who's in there and things like that. And then I noticed the crystal, I think, here coming up. It's a Grandmaster or Cavalier crystal. And then I noticed that the silhouette of the crystal is not the same. So I was like, oh, there's a glitch. That's why I'm pointing. Okay, crystal drop. Got it in. Right off the back, I see a lot of great champs that I wouldn't mind having. Captain Marvel movie, Call Obsidian. There were a few other champs in there. I don't know if Domino was in there. Colossus was. Sunspot was. Magic was. And I could have used that. Invisible Woman dupe I could have used. Who else? Red Skull dupe. I wouldn't mind having him duped. And so as I'm spinning the crystal, I see Spider-Gwen, who I don't have as a 5-star. And I was like, all right, cool. So it's a lot of great champs in there. I should be able to get one as a 5-star. Annihilus, and it stops on 4-star Sabretooth dupe. I think it was the first time awakening. But there was a call right next to him, and I don't have a call as a 4 or a 5-star. I might actually have him as a 4. I wouldn't rank him up as a 4, but I have him as a 4, possibly, I think. I don't know. But there it was. 4-star Sabretooth from the legendary crystal. So I move on. I think next I open up my basic 5-star crystal. Yeah, I opened up my basic and realized, man, I had enough to open up another feature if I wanted to. And I was like, nah, I'm going to save them shards and for the next week's opening. Start building that up. Plus, we got Cyber Monday, Cyber Weekend coming up, and Black Friday. So I want to see what kind of deals come from those. I got some money stored away in my Google account just for that weekend to kind of see what is going on. With the basic 5-star, I mean, a lot of great champs. Human Torch, I have Invisible Woman, I have Thane. I just don't have him yet from the basic pool. The Fantastic Four members, and obviously Reed Richards just dropped. Or actually, it'll be out next week. It'll be the feature champ, and there's a possibility I may, since I'm off that weekend, I may do a feature grind. That weekend kind of lines up for me, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, so it's coming to a stop. I seen Human Torch. I was like, okay, there's Captain Marvel movie as Maul. And I landed on Black Panther Silver Warrior. I mean, it's the first time awakening, so but I really don't use this guy anymore. As you can see, my face is like, what? I don't need him. Like, okay. Well, it was more 6-star shards. I kind of going through. I was like, all right, well, I'm not feeling great about my feature crystal now after all these subpar openings, but you know, we had that, and I'm like, I think I'm talking about like how I feel about my feature going up, and then I click on the crystal, and I realize, oh, let's go back and let's see who's in there. And there's a lot of, actually for me, a lot of good champs to go for. So I felt like there wasn't too much disappointment that could have happened from this crystal. I mean, I could have awakened Bishop. Black Willow Clairvoyant was a one. Carnage, I don't need him anymore. I've been duped like 2 or 3 times. Daredevil Netflix, no, I didn't need him awakened. I think I got him awakened. Dormammu Awakening would have been nice. I don't have Hela. An awakening on my Invisible Woman. Iron Fist, it would have been awakening. Iron Patriot would have been an awakening. I didn't want another awakening from any of those, or Juggernaut. I didn't want Moon Knight. But Mysterio, Proxima Midnight Awakening, a Red Skull Awakening. I don't have Rogue. Sabretooth Awakening, Spider-Man Stealth Suit, who I didn't have, a Taskmaster Awakening, Thor, who I don't have, Void, who I don't have, Warlock, who I don't have, and Yellow Jacket, who would be a first time awakening. So even if I pull somebody I really didn't want, for the most part, it'd just be a first time awakening, except for like 2 of those champs. And I think I kind of explained that, and then I kind of sit back, I'm like thinking in my head like, oh, features. I hate features. There's so many shards. But then I did get it from the sigil, so I only spent 11k shards versus the normal 15. I just give it a shimmy. I drop it in the spinner, and I'm excited. So let's see what we get. I got the clapping going on. Hercules. Discussing like what would be great to pull. I really wish I could remember what I was talking about there, but I don't. I do see. I'm probably saying, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, it'd be great. I think then talking about what would be good to pull at that point, and what I would. I mean, there's a lot of good champs in there. I'm kind of like talking while I'm waiting for the crystal to stop. So then finally it pops and it catches my attention, and I see a bunch roll by, and I realize I got Warlock. Laying between Bishop and Dormammu was Warlock, and I got him. So I'm really excited, really pumped about that. Super pumped about getting Warlock. Hashtag super pumped about that. Coined from one of my phrases. So if we talk about Warlock, I mean, he was high up on my want list. He's a high prestige tech champ. I don't have a high prestige tech champ. I got Ghost Awakened. I don't have Stark Spidey. So Warlock is a really good pool. He's got some good utility. He's really great against region champs. I think I talked about that a little bit, and then kind of move forward from there. And so then, as I'm kind of pushing through and talking about a couple things, I think next is my dungeon crystal. So we've got enough artifacts. My regular dungeon partner now, my really good friend SKO, aka Mike. him and I kind of knock out dungeons. We get the points we need, and he carries me a lot. So, he helps me out to get what I'm looking for goal wise. So I think now I'm getting ready to flip over and look at the dungeon crystals, and I went and talked about them a little bit. So let's get down to them. I looked at the Chaos Crystal. There wasn't really much in the Chaos Crystal I wanted. Void was there, but outside of that, I think that was it. Maybe a Ronin Awakening, but I didn't really care for that crystal. And then I looked at the Nightmare Crystal. The Nightmare Crystal only had Corvus Glaive, and a Wu Cage Awakening would have been nice. But then Mr. Sinister would have been cool, but I didn't really care for that one. This is the crystal that really caught my attention. Has Stark-Enhanced Spidey, had Human Torch, had Electro, had Doctor Strange, and it had Kingpin. And those were all champs that I wouldn't mind having. Then I also had a few other champs. Had Venom, which I already have like Sig 70 or 75. Had Guillotine, where I already got Sig 40-ish on her. Psylocke, which would be a first time awakening. Blue Team Cyclops, who I already have awakened. And then Karnak, which I don't have. So, I mean, even if I got him, it would have been, it would have been okay. It's a new 5-star champ, but not high on the want list. I'm going through talking about, like, who I really want out of this crystal at that point. Kind of going through that one. I do eventually go off of this one, talk about the Evolution Crystal, the War Crystal, and I forget what the other crystal is. We'll see here in just a second. And then we go click on the Evolution Crystal. The Evolution Crystal had Iceman, which would be awakened on him. Nick Fury, who I don't have as a 5-star. Darkhawk, who I don't have as a 5-star. Star-Lord, who I didn't have as a 5-star. Phoenix was already got awakened, and there were some other ones in there that I didn't really care about. And then we talk about the War Crystal with Blade, who you guys already know I have. Sentinel, who I don't have, who I do want. Awakening on Proxima. Annihilus, who I don't have, and then everything else was kind of like that, except for Dormammu, an awakening on him, or Colossus. So that was actually the other crystal I was really debating between the War Crystal and the Genesis Crystal. Either one of those two crystals for a Dungeon Crystal to pull the champ that I want would be probably the way I go. I do eventually end up choosing, and then the Genesis Crystal, I forgot about that one. Nope, I ended up choosing the Genesis Crystal. Yeah, I didn't even look at the other crystal. That's how much I didn't care about it. So you end up picking up the Genesis Crystal. I think I'm going through explaining like what I really want and why I went for that crystal. I think I kind of already explained that with you guys here. Going through now, we're going to go open that crystal up. and just keep in mind that I'm sitting here thinking I'm talking to you guys, and I'm really not. So now I'm scrolling through looking for this Genesis crystal, and I find it. Boom. So we get there, we load it up, and I'm really hoping for Stark Spidey or Human Torch. That's the two most wanted out of this crystal. There were a few other ones that I wouldn't mind having. Kingpin I wouldn't mind having. I think Doctor Strange was on the list. I wouldn't mind having him. Kingpin, I wouldn't mind getting him. And so those were three other champs in there out of all those champs. Those 5 champs would have really made. Or Electro was in there too. You can't get him as a 5-star except for through one of these crystals. Finally, I get it. It comes to a stop. I'm thinking, okay, I see a lot of Doctor Strange. See Stark. I see Electro. Kingpin. Oh no, not Karnak. Not Karnak. He was like the next to last one on that list. I'd have almost rather duped by Venom again than have pulled Karnak. Oh man, first 5-star from the royal family. I don't have Medusa as a 5-star yet. Don't have Black Bolt as a 5-star yet. So there's that. I was like, I guess I used up all my luck I'm hoping I didn't use it all up, because I went now to my 6-star crystal. I was like, oh, it takes so long to pull all these shards. Get them from the basic pool. There's so many champs in there that I wouldn't mind having. The neat one that I'll try to get one I don't necessarily need to awaken. There's a high list of champs. So we get ready to drop the 6-star in. We got it in there. I'm like, we shook off the bad luck with the 5-star dungeon crystal. Let's go in here. Let's get this new 6-star. There's a couple dupes I didn't mind having if I would have gotten. Corvus Glaive as a 6-star I already have. I wouldn't mind duping him. Iron Man Infinity War, I wouldn't mind had gotten him as a dupe. And Darkhawk, I wouldn't have mind gotten him as a dupe, 6-star. There's a few other ones I have, but I don't want them duped. Iron Man Infinity War, having him awakened just would help with me personally on attack. And then they can make him valuable as a 6-star defender if I needed him to be. But I was like looking, it's like, not the greatest, not the worst, but kind of in the middle. He's got some good utility. He's poison immune. He doesn't necessarily need to be awakening, but he just doesn't hit very hard. There's a lot of people who got some videos out there that really like what he's doing, and I'm up there like, let's go check him out real quick. I'm like gritting my teeth, like, I can't believe I just pulled him as a 6-star. I didn't know I didn't want Thing as a 6-star. I just ranked 565 my Thing. I didn't want to pull a Thing just yet. So I'm looking at his abilities, and then I wanted to go check and see if his awakening ability was needed. It just starts the Aurora, which I was having a hard time saying in the recording. I was like, Aurora. I was like, just get it out, Donald. Aurora, and that just helps with his the incinerator around him and him power gaining a little bit with that Aurora. Okay, so there it is, y'all. Just talking about a little bit, and just really don't really know where to go from there. So I'm thinking like, oh my god, it takes so long to get 6-star shards together to get a full 6-star. But we got the weekend coming up. We got the good weekend coming up here this week, so we'll see what's going on. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button if you liked the video, and I hope that you did. Make sure you hit the like button, and I'll catch up with you guys here real soon. Thanks for stopping in, catching all my possible 5 stars, 5-star openings, and my 6-star opening. Peace.